You can see, yes, it works because the government take action and people follow the action.
Hey everybody, I'm Nick. I'm a director living in Taiwan.
Hey everybody, I'm Luke. I'm cinematographer living in Taiwan.
And today I want to talk about something that everybody in Taiwan is very proud of. We had a recent outbreak of COVID-19, and Taiwan was able to control the cases, bring them down to, we had 0 cases yesterday. We've had very low numbers for a pretty long time now. So if you don't know kind of what happened in Taiwan with the whole COVID situation, if you're from another country, I think what Taiwan is able to do with the COVID outbreak is really impressive.
Yeah.
And I know everybody in the country is quite proud of the way that everything was handled here. When it first started in 2019, and Taiwan was one of the first countries to start to see some cases, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had a really good government response. They basically stopped immigration, and they have an advantage that they're an island, right?
Yeah.
So, so they're able to kind of control that a little better. So that's a one plus. But they were one of the first countries that really took it seriously, and because of that, they also did really aggressive contact tracing. So if they saw somebody had a case, they were really like, okay, we're gonna find out where this person went, who they interacted with, and make sure that it doesn't spread.
Yes.
And so Taiwan was able to control COVID for pretty much the entire time that it was happening, and we had like 0 cases for a really long time.
Yeah, it's pretty impressed the government can react really fast.
Yeah.
Kind of searching out all the connection between the one who got a COVID, so it can
Yeah.
shut down where you go and who you contact, and all those people are totally supervised, and so it's able to control the situation quickly.
Yeah, and then back in May, there was another big outbreak and I think the reason was because of some improper measures were taken with like a quarantine. I don't know exactly the details, so then the government shut everything down, which was, it was a little bit scary for a little while, and it was a little bit frustrating, I think, for a lot of people because normal life stopped and there were a lot of new restrictions that were put on everyone.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that's really impressive, and the thing that me as an American watching Taiwan, I'm really impressed with Taiwan, is that everybody wanted it to work. It wasn't like people. Of course, all of us were frustrated. We all wanted to be able to go outside. We all wanted to be able to go to restaurants. We wanted to be able to still go to the gym, do things, see our friends, see our family. But we all knew for the greater good, like, okay, we're gonna have to stay inside.
Yeah.
We're gonna all have to wear masks all the time. We're gonna have to do these things because we want this to be over, because we had a normal life before, and if we can just do this for a little while, a couple months, life can go back to normal.
Yes. You can see, yes, it works because the government take action and people follow the action, and people will blame someone who don't follow the actions. Because we wanted to, as quick as possible, to bring the life normal again.
Yeah.
So we know it's work, and it did. So for people in living in Taiwan, it's just we are not really we want the freedom, of course.
Right.
But we think of wearing a mask is not restrict your freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really.
I mean, it doesn't. It's not that hard.
Yeah, it's not that hard. And then why? Don't go to a restaurant. You can eat you can
order food. Or you can go to the shop, buy it, and take it away.
Yeah, it's easy. It's not really difficult for us. So let's not voice. I mean, from my point of view, it's not. You don't hear a lot of people complaining about just lock down the restaurant, don't go outside. It's okay for us. Even people happy for it because they can work at home.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it's kind of improve. So then you realize, okay, so the company still can work.
Yeah.
Even you working at home, right?
Yeah. Everything. I mean, for the most part, everything was okay. Like you could order food. It wasn't like a full lockdown where you couldn't do anything. Like you could go outside. You had to wear a mask everywhere you went. I mean, and that's something that I think is obvious, is like people in Taiwan are okay with that. And there's a long I don't, as an American, I don't really understand why Americans are so like they don't want to wear masks. It's like, are you a baby? Like, seriously, like, is it, like, I know babies, they rip their masks off because they think it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, baby, so is it like that? Like, you're like, oh, I know, it's uncomfortable. Like, I don't know, that's just my feeling. I think it's very silly.
Yeah.
But I mean, even I go to the gym now, and you're required to wear a mask at the gym when you work out, and it sucks. It's not as good. Like, it's not as comfortable. You can't breathe as well, but you kind of get used to it. And I forget. The other day I was at the gym. I forgot I had a mask on, and I almost drank water with like pouring it on my mask. Another thing that they implemented that I think is quite useful is they have like QR codes on every place you go now.
Right, yeah.
So when you go into a shop, you just have to scan on your phone. You send a message, and basically it's like a way to retroactively track where you've been. Mm-hmm. So if it comes out that you did have COVID, then the government can look and see all the places that you went, and then they can let everybody know, okay, if you were in these shops at this time, somebody who may have had COVID was there.
So, which makes people willing to scan the QR code because they will get a notice if someone went to the places you went as well.
Right.
So people are willing to scan those QR code because they want to be informed if someone near me is got the COVID.
Yeah.
I will get noticed and I can take reaction as quick as
Yeah, and then I can quarantine myself and stay inside.
Yeah, sort of. I go to the institute.
Or yeah, get checked, get a COVID test.
So people are willing to do that.
You know, if you live with other people, like if you live in a country like Taiwan, which maybe it's like an island mentality, like if you live in a place with other people, you need to do things for the good of everyone.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like almost like you're a family, right? You live in a house with a family. If your mom tells you need to take out the trash, you can't just be like, well, it's my freedom to not take out the trash. Well, you have to do certain things to help the family because it's for the good of the family. Otherwise, there's going to be trash everywhere and it'll be disgusting. Yeah. And that's your job is to help out. But then you say like, well, it's my freedom. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
No. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's kind of for us. It's a responsibility for the whole community, for the whole society. Yeah. If you see someone don't wear a mask, you will kind of give him a mask.
Yeah.
If I have an extra mask, I will give it to him. And I did. So sometimes we think it's not bringing you not wearing a mask. We are thinking about, well, maybe you are lack of masks. So
right.
To you. So people helping each other, and they think it's not really a bad thing to wearing a mask, or should be even the COVID tech, even not in the COVID, we wear a mask a lot.
Right. Yeah.
So it's for our culture, for our
And like even before COVID, like the way that people would wear masks would be like, if they were sick and they had to go to work, they would wear a mask, and it wasn't so that they wouldn't get sick, it was so they didn't get everybody else in the office sick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing that I think people don't really get. But yeah, I just think I guess my whole point about the family thing was just that, like, I just think that if you look at your country, like I just worry that in America people are so divided and they don't consider people that live in their country as part of a community anymore. And I think people in Taiwan definitely do feel that way, where this is my community, this is my country that I want to protect and support, so I'm willing to sacrifice staying at home for a few months, not going anywhere for a few months, so that my community can all feel safe. But in America, I think maybe the thinking is, well, why should I have to stay at home if other people aren't staying at home? And they don't feel a connection of like, we want to make sure that America gets back to normal. That's maybe my bias or perspective. I don't live in America anymore, so I'm just watching the news. But that's just kind of something that I see, that I notice.
Yeah, it's a shame to people are kind of selfish somehow, right?
Yeah.
But I won't say selfish because I don't think people are really selfish. It's just because we Taiwanese are more conservative, are more scary to death. somehow.
Oh yeah.
So
there's part of that too.
Yeah, so we are not as aggressive or as 冒险就是 adventure.
Risk-taking.
Risk-taking people. We are kind of conservative and we wanted to protect our life. We are scared to death. So we wanted to protect ourselves as well as a family. So we are kind of forcing even the older to the younger. We're telling you to wear the mask no matter what.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt of wearing mask is bad thing. It's people just
Well, I mean,
why not wearing mask?
yeah, I mean that's a totally, to me, in my opinion, that's a totally separate thing. I think the interesting thing is about the lockdown and social distancing and staying at home, because I think maybe we can discuss a little bit about like the economic cost of that. Whereas like I know me personally, and I think you as well, I experienced a lot of financial hardship from the lockdown because, you know, I lost cases that I had. We were supposed to shoot a music video together, didn't happen. I lost, you know, a lot of jobs that I was lined up to get, I didn't get. And so I ended up making a lot less money. But at the same time, you know, I understood this is what's best for the community. And if everybody gets COVID, then nobody's going to make any money.
No.
So
and the government as well gives a lot of supply for those independent workers.
Yeah.
So you can apply for the money for the ad. So like me, I apply for 14,000 and they get it to me. So it's good.
I'm a foreigner, so I didn't get it. But the, I mean, the interesting thing I think is like, it's a balance, right? Like, in the end, you take the sacrifice for a short term in order that everything in the end gets back to normal. Things are getting back to normal now, and so hopefully the economic benefit will get back to normal. But I can certainly understand why people are upset, would be upset about a lockdown if they lose their business or some kind of things like that. So it's a really difficult situation, and I hope that everything gets back to normal in the world soon.
Yes.
So I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun comments that you can leave below. If you're upset by this video, I guess write a comment. I don't know.
Yeah, let us know.
Please don't leave any misinformation or false information in the comments. Only facts, please. And thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Normally we talk about movies, so if you like Taiwanese movies, please follow us, and we'll have lots more movie reviews later. All right, bye-bye.